your mind, spend some time on me. Something, and on me. Oh. Yo, that song right there. I don't remember who sang it. Was it B2K? Grind on Me? That song is probably responsible for so much dry humping during the early 2000s in my life. You put that song on, you're like 14, 15, 16. You can go home with some chafing. Okay? You're gonna spend too much time denim grinding on someone's daughter. It's just going to be a bad time. Never worth it. You go home that night with blue balls and chafed up piece. It's never worth it. The juice is never worth the squeeze. Ain't no juice, baby. Bars. Grind on me bars. I don't even know who sang that. Shout out to Baby Grind on Me. The most sexual song. Pretty Ricky. Oh yeah. Pretty Ricky. Pretty. That shit was good. Good. Pretty Ricky, pretty boy, doing pretty good things, making pretty good change. Getting pretty good, pretty chicks, getting pretty damn rich. Pretty Ricky and the Mavericks. Baby, grind on me. Relax your minds. Take your time with me. I'll love you deeper if you ride for me. Aggressive. Now come and kiss me till your body gets weak. Sounds a little bit like Cosby. Kiss me till your body gets weak. That's the way he likes them. Pudding. Likes his women like his Jell-O. Just there. Jell-O, the most boring food. We're not going to turn this to a Cosby bit, okay? Enough people piled on him. And good riddance. He deserves it. I saw a statistic that he is like the most prolific serial rapist in American history. But no one wants to cover that. Like, it's insane what that man did. And just the psychology of him being Dad's America. And like on the surface, he looked like he was this nice dude who was, oh, Mr. Cosby. Real creepo. But you know what? Let's take you back out of that. Ready? Baby, grind on me. Get some chafing on your D. On a beanbag watching a movie that you rented from Blockbuster before they had a vacancy. Bars. I always find a way to save it, baby. Bars. Dry humping. Who the fuck invented dry humping? That is the weirdest thing ever. That just goes to show you we are animals. You remember that old school song? You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Here we go again. Just dry humping. I don't even though I like, you know what it is. I don't know if there's ever a time where I was like, yo, do you want to dry hump a bit? I don't think you did that, right? You just put on Pretty Ricky and grind on me. The girl knew too. You put on Pretty Ricky back in the day. She knew what was going down. Okay, about to do some dry humping. Gonna feel good for me. Gonna fuck him up. Hope he likes rug burn. The shit you do when you're younger. Pretty Ricky. Dude, that reminds me of like swim meets and shit. There was like a time, I think it was like during the boy band era, of my buddy and I won't give out any names. I've gotten in trouble for saying names on this podcast because I mention people who have actual real jobs that can be fired if these stories got out. But we would listen to NSYNC, and like we were dating our girls, and we would be kind of trying to court them actually, and we would be learning the dances to like NSYNC and shit. Backstreet Boys, you hit them with this one, my fire, boom boom, the one. Anything with your hand to just like, look at this shit I'm doing for you right now. This is just like laying it out there, you know. I was doing TikTok videos without the talks, without the cell phone. I didn't even have a Nokia phone when I was a kid, playing Snake and shit. You grew up privileged, all right? If you grew up playing Snake, privileged, all right? I was just me in the bathroom with my mom's poker game thing. You know, those little ones where you like play like Deuces Are Wild. The irony. I played a game called Deuces Are Wild while I would be in the bathroom. It's hilarious. This comedy just writes itself, huh? Baby, grind on me. Good old swim meets. Listen, this is what homeschool kids do. Swim meets. So, if you don't know my origin, grew up swimming. I know it seems crazy since I'm built like a warthog. Okay, well aware. Me and Michael Phelps, not even the same species. Okay, I didn't understand physics until I got older, and I was like, oh, it's mechanics. There's a reason I shouldn't be competing against this person who's 6'6", and I am 4'3" as a 12-year-old. You know, but my parents had a swim team. And it wasn't like, oh, a rich kid with a swim team. We were losing money with this swim team because my dad was just such a nice guy. He was like, let me try to help these kids. And here's the thing is a swim team takes up a lot of time. And when you're the youngest, you don't really get a choice with what sport you get to do. I would try to sign up for other sports. I tried to do some karate. Couldn't do it. It was like too expensive for us. Maybe shouldn't have had so many kids. Bars. I remember trying to sign up for football. I tried doing all these different things. It just wasn't in the books for me, okay? And the point I'm making is that I was forced into a sport that I didn't really care about. Yeah, you get me proficient enough not to drown, but pretty much the only thing swimming's cool for is like a party trick when you go to a swim party. You know, someone's birthday, and you just get in there and you're fucking flipper. You're just a merman just flexing on everybody. Nothing turns on a 13-year-old girl like a 13-year-old boy that can do a flip turn in a pool, okay? You're at a pool party. You're fucking Brad Pitt there, all right? But I didn't care when I was younger about swimming. By the time I got to like high school and college, I started caring because I was like, well, I've dedicated so much of my life to you know, talking to swimming. I need to get something out of this. You know, I've given you the best years of my life. And now I just want to see how good I can be. So I took it serious in college. But when I was a little feller, I would just look at swim meets as an opportunity to fuck around and just be a silly goose. Okay? Always been an entertainer. And your boy's always looking to entertain. It's funny because my buddy, one of my best friends, we started off as mortal enemies. He swam on what was called a rival swim team. Like, you don't know what a rival swim team is. It was across town. Naturally, we ganged up. He was on his team. I was on mine. He would go to the swim meets, and he is genetically gifted. He's a specimen. The man's an athlete, all right? Peaked in 10th grade. He was very good. And he worked very hard. And me, I didn't choose this sport. So I just didn't care about it. But once you got me on the blocks and they were like swimmers, you know, I would stop what I was doing. A lot of people, they'd take their mark. They would go down to get ready to leap into the water and get that payoff for all that hard work they did in practice. Your boy was there to flex, all right? And keep in mind, your boy was about 12 years old, 11 years old, maybe 4 foot tall, coming in at about 160, okay? We coming in thick. We coming in heavy. We coming in round, okay? You couldn't find a pointed angle on me. There was no 90 degrees on me, all right? It was just all 45s. We just got round numbers. I don't know if that makes sense. Anyway, no right angles on this body when I was 10 years old. And I would just start flexing. I'd look at the crowd, I'd point to people out, and I'd start flexing and pointing at them, hit different things. It became such a thing that people would like to see me race just to see me get on the blocks and start flexing. I would just flex it out. Sometimes I didn't even care what event it was. I was like, all right, well, whatever, I'm going to do this. And I just start flexing up there. My old nemesis, mortal enemy, he would see this and he would hate me because he would see me from afar and he'd be like, why are people laughing and clapping for this guy? He gets in the pool and gets dead last. That's true. And that's fair. But guess what, baby? When you got it, you got it. All right? I got on those blocks, and the people weren't there to see the fastest swimmer ever. They just want to be entertained. This was a weekend thing. All right? You had all these parents that had to take their kids to a swim meet because that's what you got to do. You got to stimulate these kids, not in a creepy way, or else they're going to turn out to be losers. You want to get them in sports so they learn how to compete and everything, but those parents don't want to be there. Listen, I'm in a parent's age now. I don't, I know it's different once you have them, but it's like, man, I like to chill. I like to chill. So when they had the opportunity to see an entertainer in his prime, just raw talent and ability up there flexing with the best of them, they were going to take that moment and they were going to seize it. And that's what I did. All I did was give the people what they wanted. That was my focus at the swim meets. I didn't give two shits about swimming fast. All right? I didn't give two shits about it. There was times, and I would miss my events all the time. Listen, I would look forward to swim meets because different swim centers had different, locations. It was like an opportunity for me to be fucking Dora the Explorer out there. Okay? Sometimes I remember I'd be like, oh, where is this? And they'd be like, this is IHAC. And I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah. Because IHAC had tennis courts next to it. It was like a luxury resort. And they just had like a club team that would host a meet at their pool. I would sneak over there. I'd be playing fucking tennis. I'd fill up a grocery bag full of tennis balls, just take them home with me. I didn't even have a dog at the time. I didn't give a shit. I just throw them around the backyard. Pretend I had a dog. I had a pet duck at that age. Huh? But that's what I look forward to. Just getting out there and exploring. Getting my hooves on the land, on the dirt. I'd be barefoot. I'd be running around resorts in my Speedos. Okay? Remember, no right angles. Round, all right? I'd be going into places. I remember one time at IHAC, all I had was like a towel and a Speedo on me, and I'd go into the hotel, and I just start going through rooms. I just start looking through shit, not hotel rooms, like the different banquet rooms and everything. I remember one time, it was amazing. I somehow got onto this floor with a couple other swimmers. We had warm-ups on this time, so we were kind of like, are these Olympic champions? That's what I used to think when I was a little fat kid and I'd be in a warm-up suit. I'd be like, oh, these people probably think I'm in the Olympics. Look at me. I'm in a color-coordinated warm-up suit like a jackass. They probably think I'm someone. I just look like a little fat kid with fried hair from the pool. Chlorine does a number on your hair. Let you know that right now. But one time I snuck into this banquet room and they had people there that were like waiting in the corner like servants. And they would like bow at you and everything. And they bowed at me because I was like, oh, they must think I'm an Olympian champ. They must think I'm a prodigy. And they had all these hors d'oeuvres and appetizers and all this stuff. I had to compete in like 30 minutes. I stuffed myself to the gullets, up to the rafters with all these little hors d'oeuvres and everything. I'd be looking at like the menu thing and I'd be like, what are these hors d'oeuvres? What are these hors d'oeuvres that you guys have here? Little chicken on a stick kind of things. I remember there was like mushrooms and shit. Anyway, I'm boring you guys with this talk. I'm just reminiscing, you know? I remember one time they were trying to, and all the officials, they knew me at the swim meets. They knew who I was, and they would be calling, because when someone doesn't show up to the lane, to the blocks, they would say their name. They'd be like, okay, heat 4, lane 7, Evan Lopez, Evan, and then they would look over at my dad who was coaching and they would like throw their hands up and my dad would be like looking around for me and then he would look up. There's one time he was looking on the mountain. There's a mountain behind the pool, Rose Bowl, and he sees me running down leading a crew of like 6 kids that I just made them become bad kids also with me. And I was like trying to run to the pool. I'm in the dirt and shit, just covered up to my knees. Cuts and everything from running through bushes, trying to make it for my event. And then I remember being like, sorry. Like I looked at my dad, my bad, you know, probably should let me do karate. Would have been focused. But it was good times. Good times. Shout out to Pretty Ricky from bringing those songs up or bringing those memories. I remember I used to sweet talk the officials. They'd be like, Evan, since you missed your event, because they would make you sometimes, if you missed an event, scratch all your events. They would try to teach you discipline, and I would sweet talk them. I'd be like, listen. Hilaria. Listen, baby, it was a mistake. All right? And give me a chance to learn. I've been working hard. I've been floating around the pool every now and then. Let me get in this event. Let me give the people what they wanted. And in my head, there'd be like a roar in the background. Irvin. People would walk up to me. No joke. I didn't even know who they were. They had other kids on other teams. And they'd be like, Evan, what flex are you going to do? I don't know. We're going to find out when we get up there. You know how it is. I remember playing the WWF game on N64 and taking notes on the flex moves that they would do on the ropes when their character came out. And I'd be like, I'm going to save that for the next swim meet. Oh, it was good times. Good times. Maybe I'll put those stories in a memoir one day. Pretty Ricky. Baby, grind on me. You like your mind. Ride on me. A lot of writing in those R&B songs. A lot of writing. Everything's all about writing. Everything's all about writing and making love all night long. I've touched on this before, but it just sets an unrealistic view of men and our ability to make love. No one even wants that. Why is everybody... No one wants that. Because you want to say all night long. We're talking 8 hours. Okay, let's just be on average here. 8 hours. No one wants that, and no one's doing that. So we need to stop making these songs with unrealistic expectations. 20, 25 minutes, shit, 15, 20 minutes sometimes. You're good. You're good. Go about the rest of your day. All right? 4 songs. No one needs an album. It's crazy. It's disrespectful at the end of the day. Baby, ride on me. You know what I also was thinking about? You know, Genuine. Ride it, pony. No one even bats an eye that Genuine was making a song about an underage horse. That's not weird at all. There's something in there. I don't know what it is exactly, but we should be worried about Genuine. Okay? While everybody was busy pointing fingers at R. Kelly, rightfully so, Genuine just slipped through on his one-trick pony. Ride it, pony, in those jeans. It'd be worrisome if he's like specifically said a young girl's jeans, like American Eagle. It's like, in those American Eagle jeans, pony. No other songs have anything about underage animals. It's a weird flex. A real weird flex. It sounds better than horse. You couldn't be like, ride it, horse. You know what it is? Genuine, I'm sorry, I apologize. Horse, and if you try to sing horse, it sounds like you're saying horse. Ride it, horse. Like you don't know if he's just like being like, you whores need to ride it like a pony. Bars. Genuine. Wow. I'm so glad we talked through that one on this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. We're coming in you hot. Definitely said that wrong. We're coming at you hot. All right? We're coming at you real hot on a Wednesday. A little too hot. I'm sorry. Listen, you guys want to know the truth? I have pre-workout in this NASA cup right now, which is making me be a fucking rocket ship. Getting that tingle for when you're going to work out. Ready, ladies and gentlemen. Ready. Your boy's been going through it. A lot of life decisions. That's the thing. I've never felt so goddamn grown up in my life. Got the gray hairs coming in. You boys got a couple. You boys got a couple. And that's life. I'm ready to be an old man. I'm ready to be a silver fox, you know? Start wearing this paper boy hat for real. Okay? A lot of people judge me. I'm just preparing. All right? There's nothing more grown up than trying to get a mortgage. All right? Trying to find a home. Because when you first start talking about buying houses, and that's what I've been doing, you don't know shit. Listen, you don't know shit. You got realtors telling you stuff. You got different things and layouts. And then now, after going through the process for a couple months, I'm like, oh, I'm one of those weird people who's like, oh, I love the open floor plan. Definitely need the 2-car garage. Oh, is it electric or gas? Oh, okay. What year was it built? And what are the HOA fees? Oh, cool. I hate myself. All right? Hate myself. It's a weird time. And it's so weird that there's so much. I see this a lot because obviously if you haven't been listening to the podcast, shame on you. There's a lot of hate on people who are moving from California to Texas, especially with comedy. And here's the thing. This is what's fucked up about it. And I was trying to figure it out why it didn't make sense. Listen, I was born in California. And it's one of those things where never have I ever, put a finger down, ever told someone to go back to their state. Okay? Never have I told someone, and you can be like, yeah, that's because you ruined yours. I didn't do it. If I want to leave the state, it's because the state has become unlivable for someone like me. And for too long, California has been the hot girl at the party. Okay? Listen, you guys want to hate on California and everything. Everybody was waiting. A lot of these flyover states, you want to pretend like you finally got your chance. Now we're like the prom queen got mud on her dress. The prom queen is now 26 and has 2 kids from different dads. Listen, you were just waiting for your moment. Do we have some problems? Yeah, but guess what? We're still California at the end of the day. This is the place that so many songs were written about because it's an amazing state. The only reason I'm leaving, the laws have just got a little crazy, a little too strict on business. Not a lot of room for a Puerto Rican pigeon like myself to spread their wings and flourish. You know, I'm at a crucial point in my life. And it's overcrowded. And why is it overcrowded? Because it's the best fucking state in the country. There, I said it. If you took all the people out of all the states and you were like one person and you were like, okay, well, where should I go? Oh, Montana's beautiful, but what about that winter? Okay. Idaho, amazing, but what about that winter? Oh, you got like to shovel ice? Cool. Go there. Oh, Arizona's cool. A little fucking hot in the summer. Oh, Texas. Texas has a little bit of everything, which is why it's kind of my place I'm going to move. But, oh, you guys got tornadoes and shit? Oh, there's so much flat? Oh, how many mountains do you have? Oh, cool. Okay. Colorado? Cool. There's some great choices. But then you look at California and you go, oh, wow, you guys got the fucking ocean. Okay, well, check that off. There's some other oceans. East Coast oceans don't count, okay? I've seen those on Jersey Shore. I'm like, ugh, okay? Those oceans just look like they smell like salami on the Jersey Shore. Feel like you're going to try surfing there. You're just going to get like a sandwich bag with some old Kraft cheese on your foot, you know? Like the fish are just going to come out smoking a cigarette. The beaches in Jersey Shore. I could be wrong. Listen, I've only seen it on Jersey Shore. They put a lot of filters on it. It just looks cold is what I'm saying. Look at Ventura. Look at San Luis Obispo. Look at all this, the Golden Coast. I think that's what it's called. And then you go, okay, you got that. What else you got? Oh, you like the desert? You like some Joshua trees? My hometown. Go look at the Joshua trees in Antelope Valley. Beautiful. Your boy is a rarity. I love the landscape of my hometown. I love the desert. I love it. I'm allergic to tumbleweeds, but hey, fuck it. I flourish there. I love Joshua trees. I love running. I love the sunsets. Listen, you can't beat those desert sunsets, baby. Okay? I've seen probably the best sunsets in my life have been in the desert. When you just have Joshua tree silhouettes off the mountainside, a nice cool summer night. Fuck. Nothing beats it. You go, okay, you like the desert? What else you like? Oh, I like waterfalls and mountains and everything like that. Yosemite. I just recently went to Yosemite. That is a marvelous place. That is a gem. The giant sequoias in Sequoia National Park, holy shit. Breathtaking. Oh, you want to go dive into the caves in Monterey? Listen, this is objectively the best state in the country. There's a reason why more people are here than anywhere else. I don't know if that's 100% true. I feel like it's between California, Texas, and New York, if I'm going to guess. But per capita, California has like 3 times as many people as Texas. There's a lot of spots in Texas that don't have anybody. You drive through El Paso, you ain't going to see no one. Driving through that panhandle, okay? So objectively, California, I think, is better than any state. Better than any states. We get the snow, but we don't get too cold. When it snows here, everybody just goes out and plays and enjoys it. No one's like, fuck, I'm going to be in my place for a week and I'm going to dig my way out of the snow. So you know what? All those people talking shit about California, I'm not on the bandwagon, okay? I'm not on the bandwagon. And moving to Texas and everything, especially for stand-up comedy, because that seems like that's going to be where the next comedy scene is going to pop up. Why are people like, why don't you stay there and blah, 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 blah? Dude, we invited all you people out here. We told you to come. Big city of dreams. We invited all you guys to California. Come out here if you want to make it, kid. You want to be a star, don't you? Get your clothes off. What? Huh? But I get it. I get it. The politics and all of that with how California votes. I understand. I understand why people would be worried in Texas. Because it's in a beautiful place where the laws aren't restricted. And it is the people who vote that make those laws. So I understand when people are saying about California, know why you're leaving that place and vote a certain way. Listen, I'll be honest with you fuckheads. I've never voted the way that things are in California. I've kind of always been like, oh, what the fuck? Sometimes I feel like I'm like a zombie and I'm like, or like someone covered in zombie blood to hide with the zombies. And I'm just like, yes, just let me keep staring at the ocean. But I just want people to know. Because I do get DMs. Listen, if there was a way, I've always had a fantasy about figuring out a way to help my hometown. I've never been someone who wanted to leave and pretend I wasn't from there. You see that a lot. They think that changing their latitude changes who they are or where they're from, and they can be better because they live in a certain area. I hate that shit. I hate when people leave and they want to pretend like they were better than that place. I never forget my roots. I'll never forget my roots. Running through the deserts and shit. The good times, the bad times. Because it's what makes you. I think where you're from has a lot to do with the kind of person you are. The struggle you endured. And there's something gross when people go to a new area and they just try to blend in and be like, yeah, I'm, this kind of person. And they move to somewhere and they're like, oh, I'm a bougie person now. Now I'm better than this because of this and this and this. And they try to like all that shit. But there's something about Texas. I understand that it's a very unique place politically. It's pretty balanced. A lot of people think it's super Republican. Dallas is a liberal city. Austin's a very liberal area. But there's a solid balance of ideas and a unique way of life that's attractive to me. And especially with the business, the good business out there. The ways that you can flourish, That's what I'm most excited about. But I won't talk shit about California. I'll talk shit about the certain laws and things that have gotten, have made it a wacky place, as I've put it on the podcast before. Gavin Newsom. I think they're ruining it. And I think there needs to be repercussions because a lot of people can just talk, say certain things and complain, but you got to take action. And I think taking action is what's going to actually make change happen. If people are actually leaving, and then it's going to have an effect on California, it's going to have no choice but to rebalance out. I think that's what happens. I think for a while, you go down this path of like an artificial reality and think you can keep up with all these ideologies. And then when there's a certain point where people are like, fuck this, I can't play this game anymore, then you start suffering the consequences from all those people leaving. You're like, okay, that got a little silly. We can't keep that up. We need to rebalance out. And I think that's what will happen, you know? I think that's what will happen with California. Maybe I'll come back one day. Fuck it. Why not? Definitely come back to visit. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's it for today. It's been a fun podcast. Got to get a lot off my chest. I like talking about the old swim days. Your boy flexing on the blocks. Oh, yeah, and I didn't even wrap it up. My buddy, who he lives in Texas, good buddy, one of my best friends. I actually lived with him in Texas, and it's funny, I used to do a bit about it where I would say that he's black, and so on the surface, we look like the young interracial gay couple when we would go shopping together. Like we checked off every box to wake up to a burning flame, a burning cross in the front yard. But we grew up mortal enemies. And all because he hated me for flexing, and I hated him because he was on a rival swim team. And we would bump heads every now and then. I remember one time he was like, when we were like 12, he was like, why can't we all just get along? And I was like, because there can be no peace. I didn't even know what the fuck I was talking about. We swam. The least violent sport you can compete with people. You just get in the water and splish and splash around, you know? No way to talk shit when you're a swimmer. But I remember freshman year of high school, we ended up going to the same school. He was a sophomore, I was a freshman. And first day of practice, I'm like, okay, you're going to have to put that beef aside. You're now on the same team. And I see him in the locker room. We do a little like, oh, hey. And then, you know, since both of us were club swimmers, we ended up in the same lane. And that was like, you know, we were club swimmers were usually pretty good at high school, usually in the top in all the events. So we were in the same lane. And I remember I said something to another person I knew, and it was a joke. And Matt, oh, I just said his name. Matt, well, now everybody knows who you are. I'm sorry. He goes, your mom's blah, blah, blah. And then I just go, my mom's dead, bro. And this was before people used this a lot. I just go, my mom's dead. And then he just stares at me. He didn't know what to say for like 5 seconds. And then our coach was like, all right, go. So he had to swim the entire, I think it was like 100 or something, with thinking that he just made a dead mom joke to someone whose mom was dead. Or a mom joke to someone whose mom is dead. And then we finish up and he goes, dude, I'm sorry. And I just go, I'm just fucking with you, man. And then we started laughing. Became best friends after that. And I'm going to leave you with this little wisdom, this quote, okay? Sometimes your friends become enemies and your enemies become friends. A great quote. This is a great story. I love this one. Heard this from Anderson Silva. There once was a little bird who got lost in a snowstorm. And he became frozen. And along came a cow. And he was trying to tell the cow, help, help, help. And instead of helping him, the cow shit on him. The cow walked away, and the young bird inside this ice cube covered in shit, the shit began to melt the ice cube. But now the bird was trapped in shit. And he started saying, help, help, someone help me get out of this shit. And along came a cat. And the cat heard this bird and helped get it out of the shit. I started digging and got the bird out and ate the bird. And the moral of the story is, not everybody who shits on you is your enemy. And not everybody who helps get you out of shit is your friend. Bars.